What's up, everybody? This is Gina Ifoe, the one and only African superstar. Back at it again. Please make sure you like this video. Let's get into the topic. Big shout outs to the customers of the AfricanSuperstar.com and also our members only who are designated by the circle next to their name. Big shout outs to the moderators. If you are here in the building, be a part of our subscriber only chat room. Leave me something. I will get to shout outs in a bit. Today, I want to talk about Black women should not be quiet while the media destroys the image of Black men. Big shout outs to the African Superstar family. If you are here, please, please, please be on code. Hit the likes. It is important. I was actually watching a video earlier today on YouTube, and it kind of touched on this. It talked about how really big YouTube platforms, really big influencers, IG, TikTok, are not talking about how the media is consciously destroying the image, even more so of the Black male, especially coming out of the American media. You see, for a Black male to function in his masculinity and do things that traditionally men do or traditionally men have been promoted to do has been deemed toxic. Okay? And the images that are allowed to be perpetuated through the mainstream media are detrimental. Okay, they're detrimental to the parties that participate in them, and they're detrimental to those that observe these actions. And I just want to come out and do my share. Big shout outs to Kamisha Ross Corner. She's the first in. I just want to do my share in condemning it. You know, I talk about Black males a lot on this platform, and I understand that the media and Western society as a whole has a consensus to destroy our Black men. Black women should not applaud this behavior. We should not support this behavior. And if we are in a position, we should speak out against this behavior. There is absolutely nothing wrong with you being who you are supposed to be. There is nothing wrong with you functioning in that capacity. Guess what, guys? Last time I checked in America, there is a male shortage, right? According to the last statistic I checked, the women are outnumbering the men by 7 times. Which means, in short, technically, we need more men than anything to meet up with their counterparts. We don't particularly need more females. Okay, we're already outnumbering the males in that setting. You see, and the mainstream media, that is precisely what they seek to do, is emasculate the males, reducing the available male population, even more specifically the Black male population, to even less and less numbers, because those are the males and supposed to be functioning as males are functioning as females, and so on and so forth. I saw this absolutely insane article today from a friend of mine on Facebook that was saying that there is this, female sprinter who, beat the record or whatever, and now the Olympics wants to test her to see if she is a natural born woman. But in the same breath, they've been allowing transgenders to participate in the Olympics. The transgenders that they allowed to participate in the Olympics were males that are masquerading as females. Black women, we should not be silent as they are destroying our sons and grandsons and nephews and godsons and brothers and husbands and so on and so forth. We should not be quiet about it. I know that it is not popular among society to define, approve or judge which way is up or which way is down. But guess what? When you don't want to define, do you know what happens when you don't want to define? Do you know what the product of not defining things is? The product of not defining things is confusion. Because when you are not clear, The only thing that can come from that is confusion. And we see widespread confusion among the youth, you know, about who they are, where they come from, what they're supposed to do. You know, this society says, hey, ladies, you don't need to do all of these domestic things. Big shout outs to members only, mind, body, and soul in the building. Members only is designated by that circle next to their name. I see you, baby. Thank you for tuning in. What's up? Pretty girl Lynn, let's she back, y'all. Hey, the family is coming out. The family is finding the new platform. We're happy to see you. What's up, family? This is a subscriber only chat room. So if you are just a spectator, unfortunately, you won't be able to talk. So hit the subscribe. All right. I'm encouraging and promoting Black women, all right, to not be quiet about this and not be complicit and not be passive. The society that we live in does not want to put parameters. Okay? There's a reason why you are not born unisex. Okay? You're not born unisex. Okay? Even if you want to take matters into your own hands and you want to do a sex change and all of that stuff, biologically, you are still whatever you are, what you were born. Representation matters. I cannot say it enough. I say it, you know, maybe once a week, once every every 2 weeks. Representation matters. There's a specific reason why these images are getting promoted, and it's not to our benefit. It is absolutely not to our benefit. No. It's up to us to not ingest these things, not patronize these things, not promote these things, huh? Because again, guys, if we are doing those things, we are a part of the problem. We are part of what is going on. We should not stand for it. You know, all this, for instance, homosexuality that they are really promoting among Black males. Okay? That is not going to help grow our community. You know? And quite frankly, I mean, a lot of people that are practicing that lifestyle, they may get upset when I say this. A lot of that lifestyle, it derives from unhealthy beginnings. Okay? Molestation, you know, abandonment, emotional instability, poor relationships with their parents. Let's be honest. There are some people who genuinely struggle with that desire. But for all the masses that are coming out right now, it is not legit for all these people that are coming out. Some people are riding the wave. Some people are being trendy. Some people don't know who they really are, so they're being influenced to participate. Some people want visibility. And they know that if they come out with certain campaigns, nobody can touch them. Nobody can say anything. Look what's happening to this rapper Lil Baby. I don't even know what comments he made, but apparently, you know, he's gotten the backlash from the LGBTQ about whatever he said about gay people and HIV. Yet and still, we have other situations going on, and no one's allowed to even talk about that. No one's allowed to even disagree with that. What's up, Sarah C? Big shout out to my moderators. So, you know, I'm doing my share. I'm someone who practices what I preach. Other Black women in social media spaces need to back up our men. And you know what? It's not even a romantic thing. Okay? It's not even that serious. It's a mutual respect for other people that are part of our community. All right? You may not like that person, but they have a function in our community. You know, this thing, this dissension between Black males and Black women is also another mechanism that is causing our community to struggle. You know, because we don't have a mutual respect for each other. Let me just state it for the record, a future video that's coming. Every Black man is not responsible for your problems, ladies. Every Black man is not responsible for your problems. Fellas, every Black woman is not responsible for your problems. Maybe you've had some bad ones. Maybe you run into some bad ones. Whatever. Somebody broke your heart, lied to you, abandoned you, your parent, whatever. Guess what? Every other person that comes along is not responsible for your problems. And when we start having that concept, we should be able to have a much more mutual and interactive relationship with the opposite sex, people that are part of our community. Why? Because they're not even the reason. This is why I strongly protest certain platforms, because they have obviously issues. And now whatever issues they have, they're projecting it onto everyone. What's up, family? Big shout outs to the African Superstar channel today. Sizzles, I see you there. Salam, big shout outs. Thank you guys for promoting. Please hit the likes. You see all the moderators telling you what time it is. Big shout outs to the family. We're talking about Black women should not keep quiet. Huh? Some people have a very, cavalier attitude. Well, it's not my family. That's not my son. That had nothing to do with me. A lot of people have that attitude about, for instance, the homosexual portrayal in society. Well, let them do what they want to do. It doesn't have anything to do with, me. It doesn't affect me what goes on in people. Listen, it's a small, small world. This heavy portrayal and marketing of homosexual behavior to Black men. Any of you guys have daughters out there? Anybody in the chat room have a daughter? Let me see a number one. Because if you do, this affects you. Who is going to marry your daughter? Who is going to marry your niece? Huh? Your granddaughter. Big shout outs. Kamisha Ra has a daughter. Who? You should have a stock and interest in the future of our people, of the children. Because your children and grandchildren and so on and so forth need to interact with their children. Hello, it's part of a community, guys. We see exactly what they're doing. And we should not be quiet. We should also be very clear with the youth in our realm of influence, our expectations, and what is acceptable. Do not allow the teachers, society, school, and music to raise your child. No, they should know expressly your desires. They should know. And if you equip them well, they should have the skill set to resist certain things, because they're going to say, you know what? I'm not into this. This is a very interesting fact about your African superstar that you may never know, that you probably have not known. Regarding me and substance abuse, I have never, not once, ever in my life smoked anything ever. Okay? Not shisha, not weed, not a cigarette, not, tobacco, chewed tobacco. I haven't done any of that. All right? Basically, the way that my mom instilled it in me was that it wasn't a ladylike habit. She said, you always want to be pretty, you always want to smell good. You don't want your lips to get burnt from the cigarettes and, blah, blah, blah. And, you should always be very appealing. She made me feel like it was not a classy habit to have. And therefore, when I left my parents' house, okay, when I went to university where I was away from my parents and I lived on campus, even when I've traveled to other nations, parties, I've been around so many people, I was equipped with the wisdom to make the necessary decisions. My parents weren't all on my back, following me around and blah, blah. They didn't need to. My mother's never even questioned me. Gina, are you doing drugs? Gina, are you doing? No, she did her job in raising me and equipping me. I thought about it when I went out into the world, the consequences of certain behaviors. You see, we are failing at that. We are failing at that terribly. So what happens is, because we don't want to define things and we don't want to express. What happens is our children go into the world and everybody else tells them who they should be, what they should look like, what kind of habits they should do. And they also tell you nobody should tell you that this isn't right. What is wrong exactly with sitting down with your child, maybe, or the young person in your life that is struggling and having an honest, direct conversation about where these things are coming from? You know, if you put enough substance into something, there won't be a lot of space for the nonsense. But what happens is a lot of these young people, unfortunately, they are empty vessels because we have not invested in them and we have not imparted in them. All right. And so someone else comes along and says, hey, you are this and that, and they believe it. You know, I've told this story before. Some of you guys might know this story. Maybe Kamisha Raw, maybe Mind, Body, Soul TV. I've told it before about a guy that I met when I was in university. Okay. I'm from Columbus, Ohio. He was from Cleveland. And, you know, I thought he was really handsome. He was hilarious. You know, he was a lot of fun. And, you know, we kept in contact. I think after university, he moved to a different state, you know, but we still managed to keep in contact. So one day, not too long ago, a couple years ago, he kind of confided in me that, you know, I was the first Black girl that ever kind of gave him attention. And he didn't really know what to do with it because he thought that I would not be interested in someone like him. And, that, you know, he had kind of always had a thing for Black girls, but the Black girls where he grew up, he grew up in an all white neighborhood, went to white schools, you know, so the Black girls that he had tried to date previously rejected him. Okay. And he said that, you know, the Black girls were always telling him, you know, you're gay. You're gay. You seem strange. You know, you seem effeminate. You seem, you know, why do you talk like that? You dress weird and blah, blah, blah. We all know kids, young people, you know, can be very harsh, especially like people from the hood. If you're one of those kids that didn't grow up in the hood and you start interacting with, you know, people from the hood, they could be real hard on you. All right. And, you know, they kind of coerced him into thinking maybe something was wrong with him. You know, so eventually he started experimenting. Now, this would have been more difficult for him had he already known who he was. You see, had he been instilled with the understanding of who he was. You see, so I guess in short, in this video, what I'm trying to promote our audience to do is, first of all, you know, denounce what you see. You know, do not participate in the destruction of our males. Do not be a part of it. Okay. If there are males that you don't like and, you know, you don't favor, I mean, in this social media space, there's a lot of people talking, a lot of people doing, there's a mature way to say, you know what, I don't really care for that person, blah, 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 blah. What a lot of these people are doing is for ratings and sensationalism. They have no character. Okay. They go with the trends and everything, but it has far more ramifications than it has benefits. And that's just the truth. So first of all, don't be part of the problem. Number two, adequately equip the young people in your life with the tools to define themselves. You know, I mean, I tell y'all this too sometimes, all right? Growing up, I'm kind of like the apple of my mom's eye. I mean, those of you guys that watch this channel, you've seen my mom because I posted a video with her. And I mean, my mom was always my biggest cheerleader growing up. You know, my mom had my confidence on swell. You know what I mean? I never really had color complexes in my family. I'm the darkest one. I'm the darky one in my family. I mean, I literally never had color complexes. I never had body dysmorphia. I never had low self-esteem, blah, blah, blah. A lot of it, like I said, came from my mom. My mom was my biggest cheerleader. Gina, you're so smart. You're so beautiful. I love your skin color, blah, blah, blah. I mean, dotes on me, hugs and kisses me. I'm almost 40 years old. If I go see my mom, she's gonna hug and kiss me and cuddle me. I know it's a blessing. I know it's, but the point is that when I went into the world, because of what was inside of me, I couldn't be convinced otherwise. I remember somebody tried to call me ugly, right? One time in middle school, they got mad at me. So it's like, Gina, you so ugly, blah, blah, blah. I turn around, I was like, now look, all right, you can call me, maybe I'm a little fat or whatever, whatever. I got a big nose. Okay, that stuff is true. But we both know ugly I am not. Like, if you can equip your kids with that much identity, they won't be looking, and they will not allow other people to define them. You see, because that is precisely what the media is banking on, the fact that their influence is going to have a lot of reign, because those that they're trying to target are vulnerable. And I see so many Black women backing up the emasculation of our men, or just trying to deny that it exists altogether. And I'm just thinking, like, this has long-reaching effects. I know I can't stop it, but I do have a voice, and I will speak out against it. Big shout outs. I have all the ladies in the room today. Big shout outs to my homegirl Stacy. Yeah, it's critical. It makes a lot of difference. Some of you guys have young males. I know Stacy has some sons. I believe she's got a gang of kids over there. And you're kind of tough on your boys. You're kind of hard on your boys. Speak life into them. Don't just kind of thrust this whole, you're a man, and give them all this responsibility without giving them the tools of how to do it. I mean, you can look at other cultures and see young men that are able to function in their masculinity. Okay. They're able to function in their masculinity because they've had exposure to how to do it. A lot of them have healthy relationships with their fathers, and other males. Okay. And they have not been getting exposed to the BS on the media. Huh? Matter of fact, I believe it was last week in Ghana, people that participated in an LGBTQ, event or whatever in May, they got arrested in Ghana. They actually put a bill on the measure that, if they find anybody participating in these kind of activities, because the LGBTQ wants to creep on into the continent. Obviously, we know it exists everywhere, but they want to come in like a flood, like they have done in the West, and make their presence be known, which is going to be detrimental. Sorry. I know some of you guys like, you can't help who you love. Well, look, you can't really have both elements. I'm sorry. The homosexual agenda is all consuming. It's gotten to the point you can't even talk about it. You can't even express your opinion about it, but they can, force it on you and subject you to it, and you don't have any recourse. No, it attacks masculinity. It attacks masculinity. And that's why they're using Black males to be the face for it in America. And we should speak out about it. We should not be content with our sons, talking about, they should have been born a girl. And what kind of nonsense is this? What? No, you were born a man. You are needed. You as a man is needed. Okay, getting to the root. Like I said, there are some people, I personally know some people that have battled with that desire their whole life. They don't want it. They have tried to date the opposite sex and stuff like that because they want to be a part of, the heterosexual world. They don't really want the stigma. They don't want, some of them, they want children. They know that taking that path is going to affect their life. Okay. So I know there are people that genuinely struggle and deal with it. Okay. But what I'm saying is the amount that's today, it cannot be, it's not too legit to quit. It's not. There are other people that are dealing with voids and confusion. Some people are like, I just want to belong. And they masquerade because they think it's the in thing to do. It's kind of like, I liken it to like us back in the 90s. The guys wanted to be kind of hard because, the gangster rap was coming out and, they didn't want to be seen as like a chump or a softie. So some of those guys, and some of you ladies might have even dated some of those guys that were supposed to be thugs, but they were really soft and gentlemen and, but they had to be hard because they didn't want to be outside the group. It's the same kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? So this is the video today, guys. Stacey says, protect your children. Big shout out to Mind, Body, and Soul. She loves the topic. Nana, what's up, boo? I was thinking about you today. Big shout outs to the family and everybody else who's watching. Just a reminder, this is a subscriber only chat. Okay. You can't make comments unless you're a subscriber. So join the party or not, but you won't be able to make comments. So I wanted to do my part to publicly denounce, the destruction of Black males. I think, for instance, like Lil Nas X, it's absolutely ridiculous. He is just, and if you kind of hear some of his backstory, he talks about how he was rejected when he was young in the church and how he's taking revenge. All this stuff is coming from an emotional destabilization in that young man's life. Because it wouldn't be so necessary for him to broadcast it if that's just how he felt. He's trying to prove a point. What's up, Gregory? Big shout outs to you, brother. Yeah, I'm good. I'm glad to see you. Big shout outs to the family. You guys are coming back to the platform slowly but surely. I'm very, very happy about that because I miss you guys. I miss having our large platform. You know what I'm saying? But I'm resilient, so we gonna keep it trucking. We gonna get it back. But yeah, this is it's not right. And me personally, I get disgusted seeing Black men portrayed as they are being currently. Because I know that it's false. I know that it is a campaign to influence our Black men to go like that. I know there's lots of Black men that are not participating in, what they've been promoted to do. But, the battle is for the youth. And that's who they really want to get. Okay. Young Nas, Nas X, he's not for, the 40s to 50 group or the 50 to 60 group. That's somebody who is going to, he went viral on TikTok. Okay. He came out with his hit song, Old Town Road. He has an appeal to young people. So guess what? Now he's come out, he's doing, provocative things in his music videos. He's kissing people on award shows. He's dressing very, very, suggestively and all this kind of stuff. Guys, they're trying to, he's just one of them, and they're behind him. They're completely fueling him, giving him a lot of visibility. This is an attack on our youth. Okay. And we should not be okay with it. We should not be okay with it. And expressing your opinion does not mean that you don't love your kids. Because the gay community is very big on you hate me because you don't agree. It's not. Just because maybe I don't agree with you and I don't approve stuff you're doing, it doesn't mean I hate you. I have some very close friends that are homosexuals. And I tell them all the time, hey, look, you my homie. I love you. Some people I went to school with, I love you. You know how I feel on your lifestyle. You do what you want to do, whatever. But I'm not going to approve it. It's the fact that I have a relationship with you doesn't change my position on it. That's called ethical. Okay, that means you have a standpoint that doesn't sway, even if it means someone else that you are close to, it's applicable to. So, okay, I have this standpoint. It doesn't matter if, someone very close to me is living that lifestyle. That has nothing to do with the way that you understand? I know some people very close to me, they're engaging in interracial relationships. I don't approve interracial relationships, but that's their choice. That's their life. You got to walk the fine line. And so, therefore, because of my allegiance to my people, I cannot willingly approve things I know are detrimental to our community. Nobody can explain to me how the promotion of these certain things, okay, interracial, trans relationships, and homosexual relationships, nobody can tell me how they benefit our community. How do they grow our community? How do they repair a lot of the issues that we're having amongst our community? How? I need to know. How? And every movement of the past, the fundamental and core of those movements was who? The heterosexual family unit. That's who. And all the great men of the past, guess what? Guess what they were a part of? The family unit. It is vital. And that's precisely what is under attack. So, guys, do your due diligence, both on and off social media. If you're not a social media person, then your focal point should be the young people in your world, please. And don't assume that they're having these conversations maybe with their parents. So some of you might have nephews or godsons or, whatever, some of your friends' kids, and they come around your house. Don't assume that they're having these conversations, because you know what? Some people's parents are too afraid to have this conversation. I know in the UK, for instance, race is such a taboo topic in the UK. People don't want to talk race, they just don't feel comfortable talking about race. I'm pretty sure there's lots of, children that are not getting that conversation from their parents. And they're finding out the hard way about the differences and the cultural differences and the systematic racism. A lot of children of migrants, they certainly don't have this conversation with their parents about their parents' preference. Because some of their parents are promoting them to marry outside and, this kind of stuff, this kind of nonsense that is just, it's not benefiting our community. You need to teach your kids, okay? And I'm about to wrap up. Please make sure you get the lights up, family. You need to teach your kids, if it doesn't benefit you, your family, or your people, it's not good for you. And I'm telling you, if our kids had those as critically, critical thinking tools in our kids, they would be able to decipher when they get out into the real world. Is it good for me? Okay, am I going to benefit from this? What's in it for me? My family, and my people. It would aid them in a lot of decisions they make. But because they're not informed and because those desires are not expressed, Sarah asked, race is a taboo subject. Absolutely. Because the people in the UK are very tolerant. They feel like integration is just standard. Diversity is standard. If you, which is why I was very radical for the UK. Anybody watching this from the UK can definitely concur that race is a very taboo subject. If you express that you're not into interracial and, you like being around your people will look at you with confusion, shock, and horror. It's considered very offensive here. So it's considered very offensive in the UK, I mean. So that's what it is. And that's the different strategies that they take as well. Because what's up, Lady Visionary? Big shout out to you. Thanks for stopping by. How you doing? I thought about you a couple days ago. I meant to text you. My bad. Sorry. I hope you're doing good. Lady Visionary can tell you she used to live in the UK. She's in Rwanda now, but yes, race is a very taboo subject in the UK. You know, people that talk like me, you know, is very shocking. And then what will end up happening is people will be like, "Well, have you ever lived in America?" And I'll be like, "Yeah." And they'll be like, "Oh, okay, that makes sense." You know, because American Pan-Africans, I guess, are very, very expressive about these certain things versus, you know, the people in the UK, they don't really want to take a stand. So guys, yeah, that was the topic. I have shared my thoughts on it. I would say, does anybody want to call in? I would briefly open the call lines. I'm gonna give you guys like 5 minutes to call in because I know I have not done a call in show in a long time. So I'm gonna give y'all 5 minutes. That's it. The topic is Black women should not be quiet while the media destroys the image of our Black men. You know, and I've been talking about how they've been portraying them, you know, between, I'd say, the homosexual portrayal and the trans portrayal. You know, they now have these transgender, you know, uh, movie stars and sitcom stars that are just, you know, out there, very visible, you know, letting them host award shows and all kind of stuff. They want to put this image out here. We should not be okay with it. You know, and yes, I know they're going to make you feel bad because you're not okay with it, but you're still not okay with it. That's it. You know, you can't be convinced that self-preservation and the interest into the future of your community is bad. Especially if you have kids. I mean, if you have kids, your interest into the future is totally legit because it's the world of your descendants. Your kids are going to grow up there. Hopefully they're going to, you know, go on to have kids. Your grandkids are going to grow up there. You should care. If you don't care, you're just a selfish person. You're just living for yourself. Like, yeah, well, whatever, roll the dice, whatever happens, happens. Good luck, guys. You know, and you don't equip them with the tools and you just be like, hey, you know what I'm saying? I had to figure out my way. You're going to figure out your own way. It's poor parenting. Don't do that to your kids. Okay. Equip them. Let them know what time it is so that when they get away from you, they're going to be able to do what they need to do to negotiate life. If you raise your children well, okay, they'll be under your jurisdiction far from home. You know, they can be living in different countries. They can be holding these different positions. They can be doing all these things. And in the back of their mind, they're going to be remembering the ideals that mom and dad taught them. You know, and I think that if we were doing a better job of that in itself, then a lot of these media ideas will not be able to take so much root into our kids because they would reject stuff. You know, they would reject stuff because they're like, nah, my mommy told me this, my daddy told me that. Nah, I don't believe that. Nah, I don't want to do that. I'm not interested. Because they would be interested in what their parents have instilled. You know? Okay, good. We got a caller. Oh, Nana, she's going to get in on this. Okay. What's up, Nana? Turn your volume on. Turn your sound on.
Hello, family. Get up. You want to say hello?
Hi, sweetie.
You want to say hello? How is everybody?
Why is he on the couch?
You want to say hi? Maya, say hi.
Hi, sweetie. At the same.
Hi. Yamiadum. Yamiadum. How is everybody?
We're good. We're good. We're good. How are you? It's good to see you. I see you changed up the hair. Nana,
Yeah.
I can't keep up with you. I can't keep up with you, Nana.
I got
Every time
a
I see
job.
you,
I got some
that's why
jobs.
that's why you got all them kids running around there. See? That's
Ah,
why you got
yeah. I'm trying to help the community as well as everything, you know. So I miss you all. And Hannah, the topic you are talking about is very interesting.
Mm.
I think, as you have been saying, one thing I like about you is all your messages are in connection with what you want and what you set example for. For example, when you came to Ghana, there were a lot of things that really came to your way, but you still keep on by moving on for what you want. And uh, it is always good to be realistic, like to know how you feel about somebody, talk about
Oh, you want to see
Maya, you see Auntie? Maya, say
Auntie? She's
hi.
so cute. That's my
Thank
baby.
you.
Look, we both have afro. See? We both have afro hair. Yay.
Let me talk. Okay, so it's a very interesting topic. When I came here, a lot of things, I came across a lot of like different nationalities.
Yeah,
And
I would love to know. I would love to know what you think about that because obviously I know in Ghana, seeing males like this, like the homosexuals and all that stuff, it's like it doesn't go on, you
yeah,
know? So to come to
well,
America and start seeing them out in the community on television, all this stuff is crazy.
yeah, that's true. It's something, sometimes that's one thing I do on my status. I talk to people about how, like, some of these things it's different here, and as I connected with you, I will have more time to talk with you, especially in changing the narratives of Ghana. And we have to be proud of ourselves, something like you have to be superior when you are connected to a different nationality. It is over
Yes.
the continent, I'm telling you. So I remember when I went to marry my husband and brought him from. Sorry, when I went to bring in my husband, I have a lot of criticisms, like from back home. Why is it that we have so many white people and this and that? And I keep telling them, well, it's not like how you people see things on the continent.
Yeah,
And
yeah, yeah,
if
yeah.
always we are going to protect each other, we have to hold on to our same community. You see, we have to work things out for the betterment of our future. Imagine how you were raised up. I know you are not going to take any nonsense from
You got
anybody,
it. You got
and
it.
you always speak up your mind. So I really like your channel. I like the fact that you leave that example. So we will always stay in contact. Like, over here, we have to speak about it. There is nothing wrong. If something is not of your choice, if you feel for your
Exactly.
community, talk about it. There were so many, I mean, when I came here, African Americans I came into contact with, but they thought, oh, Africans, somehow you don't like them. So some really didn't approach me till later on. They told me, oh, because you Africans, you have your own lives, you like these people.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, I mean, Nana, it's a very good topic. But to be honest with you, it creates a bit of jealousy, you
Mhm.
know,
Yeah.
because unfortunately, a lot of the Black Americans they haven't been able to establish themselves. Their families are messed up, and they see other Black people from around the world, and they've been told that these Africans are poor, they don't have anything. So how can they have more than me? How is it possible as an American that I'm on the bottom? You see, because it doesn't make sense to them. They've been told I'm in a superior country, I'm better off, and all that stuff. I'm living the American dream. They see, Mexicans come, they have their own communities. They see the Jewish come, they have their own communities. They see the Africans come, the Caribbeans, and they're like, but these people are supposed to have less than we have. It doesn't make sense. So I think a little bit of that, to be honest, is just the jealousy. How do these people that are not supposed to have anything
Yeah.
not want to interact with us, not want to be with us? Like it's a bit of a complex thing.
Yeah.
But we're all being played against each other, at the end of the day.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know. I know your teachings will make an impact because sometimes we don't really like look at the long term effect. Sometimes you feel like, oh, relationship is relationship. Oh, let me go for anybody I want. Then the kids and everything, the long term effect of it have a long term on you. So once you break up or the father is no more there, different things happen. The kids will be a burden to you. They will pass it
Yes.
on. So let's look at the long-term effect. I like the program. I like the topic. And also, nobody should make any assumption. If you want African, black, just go. If you want African American, I mean, I'm saying this in the context of the way, like when I came here, I saw, okay, we are African, and they are African American. Then later on, I said, nah, okay, what's the best way to connect all of us together? The word is
Yeah.
all black, or African Americans. When you are choosing on the paper here, it doesn't say, oh, she is, okay, there is African, but African American. So we are all
Right.
black. Let's choose for it and go for that. And also, no assumption. If you want something, go. If you don't want, explain. Maya, explain yourself to
This
that
little
person.
girl. I mean,
Maya,
I be having that reaction on the babies though. They love Auntie Gina. Yes, yes, baby. Why are you doing this? You want to talk?
so I will give somebody the platform, but I have more ways on things for you to, there are more programs for the people coming. Anyway, you need my
Yes.
support in the community. This message has to go on. Some even don't like want to date the African American coming back home because they think other race would be better for them. That's the chance of them
Yeah,
coming.
yeah, yeah.
This is causing slavery in its own terms. It is another exploitation. People are
Mm.
exploiting Africans through that. So you have to look at that side. So thank you so much.
You're
Thank you.
welcome, Nana. See you later, dear. Big shout outs to Nana. She made it happen even with all those beautiful children going up and down in the house. And something that she pointed out, which is really, really good, um, as I wrap up, which is sometimes you don't think far. That's what we say in Ghana. You don't think far. So you're thinking about yourself immediately. Oh, it doesn't make a difference. I'm gonna tell you guys a story. So I read a story the other day about a very dark skinned lady in the UK that married a white man. And they had a baby girl. And the baby girl is very, very fair skinned. So the mother was out with her daughter at the grocery store. And someone accused the woman. She said, oh, are you the nanny for this child? Okay. And I don't know about any of you guys when you've been out with your children, with your black children, because you're also black. If anybody stopped you and asked you if you're the nanny to your child or if your child belongs to you, these are the kind of complexities that can be avoided when we make conscious decisions. Nana talked about when she decided to marry someone from back in Ghana, people were kind of giving her a little bit of, criticism, like, hey, you're living in America. There's all those white people there, and I really applaud her um, in making that conscious decision because she reestablished her family lines for at least one other generation. She married someone from her country, and together they're raising their children. They're going to be able to teach them the language. They're going to be able to teach them the culture, and hopefully if she does it well, she will instill the love and appreciation in the children enough that they too will continue it on. Because what happens is if you don't continue it, you decide, you know what, I'm just going to do me because this is what I want to do. Then you risk, you know, just basically dissolving your family lines eventually, and that's what ends up happening. So this was an excellent conversation. Big shout outs to all of you in the room. I don't think I missed anybody. Big shout outs to our members only member, Mind, Body, and Soul. If you're interested in mind tongue twist. If you're interested in getting that icon, you can join our members only, get access to a members only vlog. Those episodes are posted to the community tab, so that is where you will be able to view when I update. So big shout outs to Mind, Body, and Soul represent for our members only today. And all of you that have been watching, again, this is a subscriber only chat. So if you've been trying to put comments but they're not showing up, you have to subscribe to the channel. Yes, indeed. So until we meet again, stay black and true. If you ain't black, just stay true.